So it's looking like BGVP has stupidly pulled their DN2. This silly earphone that I hyped. I really hyped this set. I even sold a couple of them through the links that I placed for them. The thing here is that, you see, I hate it when a brand does not know what it's doing. It's very obvious that when you see a very stupid brand like BGVP, you just need to just shy away from promoting such very horrible brand. BGVP is one of the worst hi-fi brand that has ever existed, and it's not because of they don't have the finances to try. This brand actually has the finances to actually be good. They could have been as good as Linso sub brands like TINHIFI, the FiiOs, the KZs. But for some stupid reason that makes no sense whatsoever, you have a brand like BGVP continuously release models with useless bad MMCX connection ports that end up either making them discontinue a model that had promise, or they pretty much die off because nobody would want to risk their money buying a set that is faulty. The DN2 has been pulled back by BGVP because of one, misinformation of the drivers they used to produce their earphone. That's they lied. Pretty much they lied to you guys. They actually use Beryllium driver to make their dynamic driver. They explained in a statement that they only coated a setting. I think they said the coil of the driver with beryllium. You understand that it's not even a diaphragm that was coated. So pretty much there is nothing like beryllium coating going on here that should even bring this up into the marketing of this. You can see beryllium dynamic driver with a so-called in-house balanced armature, crappy Phoenix nonsense. Look, I'm so pissed because I really pushed this model to people, telling them how good it is. It's beryllium, and for BGVP to still come and have quality control issues. They had the same nonsense problem with their DMG. They had the same problem with their DM7. All their other older flagship had quality control problem. They always had to go use MMCX connectors, and I think they do that because they want to cheap out, because I don't see why they cannot use quality 2-pin connection like every other sane manufacturer of earphones. They don't want to do that because they want to always be chipping out. So let's look at their stupid so-called statement that they dropped on Facebook, because honestly I don't even have time reading such nonsense to you guys that my followers here, because I'm really pissed off by this nonsense that they just did. So this is the official statement for the DN2 issued by BGVP regarding the issue of our company's recent product DN2 in parentheses. Here's our official statement as shown below. Last week on our Facebook page, we have announced that the DN2 is temporarily unavailable on our AliExpress, and also notified all dealers not to sell any DN2 from that time. Now take a look at this seller. This seller is still selling the DN2. This is a seller still selling the DN2. And if we check about his stocks, I think, let's see, this dude really still has a ton of stocks for this. Let's see, he has around, can you see guys, around 199 of this in stock. So there is still a lot of this particular crap in stock. So let's continue with their so-called report. So they go on to say, since two severe problems are discovered on the DN2. First, they are the issues of the MMCX coaxial connection caused by the structure design. Second, driver mismatch during production. They go on to say, in terms of MMCX issue, there is a structural issue found on the shell, that's the shell structure. Hence we have already implemented changes and redesigned a new mold for it. So they are not even saying that, you know what, we want to change it to 2 pin. We don't want, look, they are still telling you that they want to make a new mold and still put the same crappy MMCX that will fail them again, and they will come and give you a bunch of excuses. Now this whole thing that they wrote here is annoying. I could go on, sit down and read their full report, but I think it's very, very relevant at this point. I've given you guys pretty much the highlight of what they have said in this long-winded report that really makes no meaning whatsoever to me, because BGVP, as far as I'm concerned, is a useless brand going forward. I'm still going to report on their new products from time to time, but it's very obvious that this brand does not know what they are doing. They ended their report by saying that they have fired the 2 staffs that they claim that misconstrued their advertising by saying that they put a beryllium in their earphone when they did not put a beryllium driver there. So can you imagine such a dumb response and excuse to their very stupid release of the DN2 that really went nowhere, because the sale for the DN2 tanked. The sale for the DN2 tanked, and it tanked so hard that the few people that got their hands on this set really ended up not liking it, having MMCX problem, and had to either return it or complain before BGVP took notice and decided, you know what, we don't want this backlash we had from the DMG, we don't want this backlash we had from the DM whatever, and they pulled it back. You know, guys, the only reason why they have not pulled back the DM, the new, I think they launched an 8 balanced amateur driver. The only reason why they have not pulled that one back is because many people have not bought that because it's expensive. That model, I think, is around between $400 for the regular model. I think the wood variant goes to almost $600. The only reason why that has been pulled is because for now, many people haven't bought that set because of the price tag. If many people have bought that set, if it was a little bit more affordable, a lot of problems will still come out. Understand? And I don't think BGVP is a good company, honestly, guys. The title of this video will say it all. BGVP is trash. I will tell you guys to discontinue using BGVP. If you have their older set that is still working for you, by all means keep using it. But for now, going forward, I don't think BGVP is a brand that I would recommend to anybody. I actually hyped their DN2. I did hype their DN2, but honestly, this model that has failed is just a stab to me, because you know, on this channel I have a very special place for Beryllium earphones, and I tend to push Beryllium earphones more than other driver earphones out there. I almost talk more about Beryllium earphones more than the other sets out there. I'm not a fan of balanced amateur earphones. I don't really talk about balanced amateurs. I can report on the earphones, but I don't buy balanced amateur earphones. I do review them, but I don't use them as my daily drive. I don't like balanced amateur earphones generally. So this thing is really horrible. It's really horrible, and I'm not happy. I'm honestly not happy, because I'm one of those guys that really pushed for this model to be known by many people. I created about almost 4 or 5 reports on this particular model, so it's really sad to see such a disgusting report by BGVP. Yes, it's cool that they came out to at least report this to their fans and to their buyers and their customers. It's quite nice, because so many brands would just ignore this and just continue with their shitty production, which is nice. But I will never recommend BGVP. I will still report on their new products, but I will always tell anybody whenever I report on any of their new products to be cautious of their products. I don't think BGVP will be changing anytime soon. They have a lot of quirks that they need to work through, and I don't think this brand is going to make any impact in the business going forward. They have really lost customer support, and I don't think this can be solved anytime soon. Oh well, guys, it is what it is. Be sure to follow us on our YouTube channel, subscribe, like our content, and I'm going to see you guys next.